Can plants build up immunity? Are spices the real heroes here? Can plants be medication for the coronavirus?
N number of research papers indicating the role of plants in enhancing the immunity. It improved the entire CD19 count in patients. Possible source of treatment. There are 20 different herbs, majorly in your kitchen, not in Himalayan terrain or some tent part.
Our guest tonight is Dr. Deepak Acharya. He is an ethnobotanist and his current research areas include scouting and documentation of indigenous knowledge. And fun fact, he is the only Indian to be featured in the Cast of Weekend edition of Wall Street Journal Asia. He got his doctorate from Dr. H.S. Gaur University, Madhya Pradesh. He's published many books and articles, and he's the co-founder and director of Abunka Herbal Private Limited. Furthermore, he's a member of Bureau of Indian Standards, Mirror Committee member, and Board of Studies in Botany. And he's also appeared on various national TV news channels. That's a bit about our guest. Now let's get on with the show. Today, we're going to be talking about plants. I know they're not the most interesting of creatures and not the most interesting of topics you think we've covered so far. But guys, come on, they're so resourceful. We have so much to be thankful for them for. Just think about this. Here's just a little list of all the great things that plants do for us, or rather we take from them, regardless. Now, but an important point here. In that list, I'm pretty sure you all must have been focused on one point. I know what that is. It's marijuana. I don't blame you at all. I really don't. Because hell, it's marijuana. Now, here's the funny part. Plants are much more resourceful than that. They're our primary food source. The first thing that jumped to your mind was marijuana. Now that right there, ladies and gentlemen, shows our list of priorities. Now, a quick side note here. Did you guys know that plants have feelings and they are living beings as well? Now, I recognize that's a mean thing for me to say. So then why did I say it? I don't know. Moving forward, plants are our primary food sources, right? But once upon a time, plants were also a primary medicinal source. Yes, before Western medication, before all this ever happened, we hear plants used to be our only source of medication. Now, the world is coming back to that again. So we thought, let's take a look at that. And for one more reason, I really thought plants should be looked upon for medication. You know why? Because here's the thing. In all sci-fi movies, or rather in all pandemic movies, plants or rather herbs have been an crucial part of the plot point. They were the cure in some movies. And we are living in a science fiction movie. So I thought, why not explore that plot point as well? So here's our interview with Dr. Deepak Acharya talking about plants and their medicinal purposes in today's life. So moving on to plants. Plants are primarily they're just a primary food source for all beings. Even for us, even if you're non-vegetarian, you get primary food source from plants as well. But medication is something as well, which is like, I think it's kind of overlooked by most people when they think about plants. Wouldn't you say? Because I've seen plants where eating some plants can build up your immunity. Now, I don't know the exact scientific method, but I'm hoping you could educate us on that part.
Yeah. Yes. Plants have been an integrated part of human civilization, right? From ages, they are being, used to treat different health disorders. It is the modern science which evolved in recent times. Otherwise, if you take the modern medicine system, even today, 30 to 40% plant-derived drugs are there. So they are basically, take an example of Synfona and quinine, and then other salicylic acid, or you may say the disprin or aspirin. All these chemical compounds were obtained someday or other day from the plants, and the basic core area of the source of information was the tribal domain. So these practices were documented ages before, and then the modern science came into the picture and then started doing some research uh, and started the process of taking out the marker compound, and that's how the entire process evolved. So plants definitely are an integral part of human civilization, right? Not only just for food, but for not only just for food or shelter, but for each and everything. Plants are basically uh, uh, plants play an important role. Plants entirely, if you say, plants play an important role in our well-being, human health, well-being, and uh, the thousands and thousands uh, scientists today are working, seeing the plant world, and they are trying to find out the relation with aging, and they are trying to find out a solution there by which we can win the war with our own body. So plants definitely are an important part, not just for food but for many things, yeah, even medicines. Mm.
Is there any truth to the fact that they do increase immunity?
Yes, yes, indeed, indeed. There are, if you go through the literature, if you find out, if you Google, you'll find a number of research papers indicating the role of plants in enhancing the immunity, right from the improving the CD19 count and lymphocytes, with and several and hundreds of studies are there which indicate that plants play an important role in enhancing your immunity. Take an example of Trifla. Trifla is a very common formulation, Ayurvedic formulation. It's a combination of three different plants, Arra, Beheda, and Amla. Means these three combination of these three plants is known as Trifla. Combination is known as Trifla, an Ayurvedic preparation. So scientists from uh, uh, three, four different uh, big institutes, they did a clinical trial on seeing the effect of these plants or their composition, for finding out if their role is involved there in enhancing the immunity, and also they focused majorly on the CD19 count, and the result, if you believe, I mean, uh, they were the same formulation was given to the HIV patients just to observe how the CD19 count is observed there, how it is effective in improving the CD19 counts, and results were quite amazing. And it was, I mean, the average CD19 count is usually seen much better in the age group of 20 to 40, and the CD19 count generally decreases after 40. So, and which is directly or indirectly your immunity. And after seeing the clinical results, I was wondering why not people are taking Triphala as an immunity booster. So Triphala, it improved the entire CD19 count in patients who were above 40, and their CD19 count was as normal as the people of age group in between 20 to 40 within 20 days only, 28 days. So 28 days, this Trifla only, I mean, 2 grams or 3 grams per day can improve your CD19 count. So see the results and see the efficacy. Even in recent time, a company which claimed to have developed a medicine for corona, uh, they also used sort of formulations, plant-derived formulations, and they conducted some clinical trials. That's altogether a different subject. But the point is, yes, plants do play an important role in human health care. And as far as the immunity is concerned, definitely ashwagandha, tulsi, to turmeric, to ginger, to cinnamon, and this trifla. All these plants have shown quite a good activity as far as the immunity count is concerned, and the overall impact of your innate immunity, and also they are known to manage the cytokine storm. So I see, I believe that definitely, since this is a time we are facing a pandemic here, so definitely I see a great ray of hope in the plant world. Definitely, a medicine is definitely going to come sooner or later, but there will be certainly a medicine which will be completely plant derived uh,
So,
for.
I'm Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned the cytokine storm and about corona as well, because that's where I was going to next. Because there are many plants. I think in our own Hindu culture, rather Indian culture, if I'm not mistaken, plants which have antiviral and antibacterial, methods, like plants which can do that. And antiviral, and especially now since the pandemic is a virus, I thought like, yes, maybe we are not looking in the right direction. Maybe we are focusing too much on Western medicine compared to plants themselves for looking for a medication. And so you said cytokine storm, and which is pretty important for all everyone to understand. That is what actually brings our body to attack in and of itself against itself during the virus infection. So, what do you think the prospects are in terms of getting a medication from plants themselves for the virus we have right now?
I was talking yesterday with a friend from Crips, South Korean Institute of Biotechnology, and he said that their team is completely focusing on plants which are basically native to India, and they are doing some rigorous trials and trying to find out a possible cure for corona. I was really glad. You know, since if you see and if you try to find out a possible source of treatment, uh, there are 20 different herbs majorly in your kitchen, not in Himalayan terrain or some distant part. You have to see, just go through your spice box. Those spices, cinnamon, star anise, ginger, then turmeric, then cumin seeds, then kalonji, uh, and then turmeric is there, and so all these herbs are basically anti-inflammatory and antioxidants. And they have expressed their activity against n number of uh, uh, a, a number of viral or bacterial disorders. So microbial infections, as far as microbiology is concerned, I think the magic or the solution lies in your spice box only. So any oil, just note down my word. Just your kitchen box, your spice box is going to give one solution, which will be a treatment for corona. I believe this is what I'm believing at this moment, because if you go through the research papers, if you Google it, you'll find uh, garlic being the one of the best antibiotic in the world. Uh, then cumin seeds are there. Then ajwain seeds are there. So all these spices which we use in our day-to-day, food recipes, they possess amazing activity against all these microbes. So I believe definitely spice box is going to be the key factor, and medicine will definitely be there. Look at these people, those Korean people now. They are trying to find out a possible outcome uh, using those herbs, or applying or trying those herbs which we use in day-to-day, food recipes, spices. So they are basically now focusing more on Indian spices. Why Indian people, use this much of spices, and they prefer spicy food. So their focus is on more now spices, since um, uh, so I believe that definitely there's a ray of hope for the corona crisis, and definitely that lies in your kitchen box, spice box.
Just for the last point in this, speaking about the spice boxes, and then because a lot of us Indians are getting infected, and most of us, I'm pretty sure, eat ginger and whatnot and all the other spices. So why do you think that does happen? Because if the answer is in our spice box, then shouldn't we all be better equipped to handle this?
I I I would like to clarify you why, because the process by the if you take just an example of cumin seed. So have you ever seen any people using cumin seed just after the process of preparation of food is done? I mean, if the curry is made completely, it is ready, then the cumin seed should be used or sprinkled over, because it contains a volatile compound. A temperature is there. If you fry it, if you deep fry it, the entire volatile compound will be lost in the air. So how to use the spices, it is the key factor. How you use the process is important instead of the product. So the process should be very clear and very uh, systematic, so that the effect remains intact there. If you use turmeric, and that too, because there are plant compounds which generally degenerate after getting a particular temperature. So you have to maintain that. And as far as raw spices concerned, raw ginger is concerned, uh, it is more effective as compared to the cooked one. So right time, right position, and the process of the intake and the dose, it is important. So I know, and even Indians in Bangladesh and in Pakistan, people use more and more spices. Still the cases are higher there. But if you there's a limit of doses, 6 gram turmeric per day, then it is going to help you out. But usually what we do is we take pinch of turmeric while cooking. So pinch of turmeric is, it's not going to suffice. It's not going to fight your problem. So you have to take the doses which is prescribed there in Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia of India. There's a certain dose which needs to be given or taken to get the maximum out of it. That's the
So
problem. So we should know how to use these herbs, how to prepare recipes, and how to take dosage is important, and which form. The form should be known to the common people.
So I guess to conclude this, it's like we have the answers right in our kitchen boxes or spice boxes, like you said, but we need to know the methods and the dosage, and also in what form they should be taken. But rather, the
Yeah,
compound is actually already there. We just need to finalize it, make it better, and medicate it. Is what you're trying to say.
yeah, yeah. So when the cooking is complete, when a curry is ready, you just sprinkle 2 grams or half teaspoon of cumin seeds, or maybe powder it and sprinkle over. So you are going to get the benefit of this essential oil. Otherwise, it will just be a kachra, nothing else. So if you deep roast, if you fry it, the entire essential oil, it evaporates because of the volatile nature of the oil. So you won't get it, though you backside of your mind, you know that you are having cumin in your diet, but it's not going to support, it's not going to really help you as far as the medicinal property of the plant is concerned, or seeds are concerned. But if you want to get the benefits, definitely you should know, you have to know the particular dose and which form it should be taken. That is more important. And if
So I
you
guess
if you see if you see in tribal domain, they never use, or they never deep fry any spice. They simply sprinkle it. So see who is more educated, those who are known as primitive, or we as known as advanced or modern.
well, I guess for us, taste counts more than
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. That's the issue actually. So we prefer the taste and we prefer the fragrance, but to get the medicinal profits or medicinal the importance of, or the effect of the particular spice, you need to know the doses.
So I guess the answer really is hidden right under our noses. We just need to know
Yeah,
where to.
correct, correct.
So that concludes the interview with Dr. Deepak Acharya on plants and their medicinal purposes. and maybe even a cure for the coronavirus. But caution to all the viewers out there, don't just expect to add these spices in whatever amount, in whatever form, and expect them to actually act against the virus. Like Sir said, it's a proper form and it should be of the proper dosage to actually help you guys. Now, furthermore, I was more curious in the fact that all of this kind of falls under Ayurveda and even traditional medications, which we really don't document that much. So I wanted to find out more about this. So that's why we asked another interview from Dr. Deepak Acharya, and he kindly agreed. And so our next episode will be on Ayurveda and traditional medication. Stay tuned.